Welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're going to explore this idea of oversubscribed.
Ooh.
Have you ever really wanted something that was almost impossible to get,
Yeah.
like those limited edition sneakers?
Yeah, or that new restaurant with a crazy wait list.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
we're not just talking about hype. This is about businesses, deliberately making themselves super sought after.
Right. Creating that high demand, low supply situation.
Yeah. And we'll be diving into how they actually do that using Daniel Priestley's book, Oversubscribed.
It's interesting because this isn't just about like basic supply and demand. We often think price equals, how good something is.
Right.
But scarcity plays a huge role.
I see.
Take Uber, for instance, valued at billions,
Yeah.
but never actually turned a profit for years.
Wow.
Demand outweighed practical concerns.
It's like there's this whole psychological layer on top of the economics.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if we've ever, paid extra for something just because it felt exclusive.
Oh, absolutely. And Priestley's book isn't just about noticing this. It's about how businesses can engineer it.
Oh, interesting.
He talks about moving from an open market to creating your own market. You're not just playing by the rules, you're making them.
I like that.
Think about actors. There are tons of talented people, but only a tiny fraction makes it big.
Right.
They've created a demand for their specific skills.
He uses the story of Rich, the life coach, right?
Yes. Rich charges top dollar because he works with a select group. He's not for everyone, and that's what makes him valuable.
That's such a good example.
And then he brings up this really fascinating idea, the 7-Eleven 4 rule.
Ooh, tell me about that.
So it's all about building trust, familiarity, 7 hours of exposure to your brand, 11 interactions, and 4 different locations or contexts.
So it's like getting to know someone, but in a business sense.
Exactly. And he initially talked about this for real-life relationships, but it translates so well to the digital world.
Oh, totally. Like building those connections online.
With content, webinars, you name it.
I see.
And then there's timing. The Apple Watch launch is a perfect example.
Oh, yeah, how they built up so much anticipation.
Samsung rushed their watch to market, tons of returns, discounts.
Right.
But Apple, a year of carefully leaked info, building that buzz.
Makes you think about how we react to things, too. Like, we're drawn to the buildup, not the rush.
Exactly. And to create that, Priestley outlines 4 drivers of oversubscription.
Oh, lay them on me.
The first is innovation. Doesn't have to be, inventing something totally new.
Okay.
It can be about reframing the familiar, like Ralph Lauren and the polo shirt.
Yeah, just a simple shirt, but...
Branded, positioned to seem high value.
Right, right. And what's the next driver?
Relationships. Like, think about finding a new accountant.
Okay.
Would you meticulously compare every single option?
Probably not.
Or go with someone you already have a connection with?
Even if they cost a bit more, yeah.
That's trust, loyalty in action.
Makes sense. Then there's convenience, right?
Oh, huge one. We're all busy. Making buying easy is a game changer.
Amazon's one-click purchase is, brilliant for that.
Exactly. Taps right into our desire for ease.
I'm definitely guilty of convenience purchases.
Oh, me too. And then there's price. Seems odd that a higher price could mean higher demand.
Yeah, how does that work?
Competing on price alone is a race to the bottom.
Right.
Think Walmart, high volume, low margins,
Okay.
versus luxury brands using price to show exclusivity.
So it depends on your strategy and who you're targeting.
Absolutely. And Priestley goes beyond just getting customers. It's about creating raving fans,
Okay.
going above and beyond, exceeding expectations.
I like that, making them feel special.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
calls it the pedestal effect, like
Right.
Dent Global using client success stories to fuel demand.
People want to be part of something successful.
Right. And then there's this really interesting psychological piece.
What's that?
People justify big spending on desires, not needs.
I see.
Like, no one needs a Rolex.
But everyone wants one.
Exactly. It's about status, aspiration, emotional reward.
Understanding that is key.
And that's where having a strong philosophy comes in. Being remarkable, not boring.
I love that.
He brings up Chipotle again. This time their campaign's about sustainable food.
Right. Not just selling burritos.
They're promoting values, and that makes them stand out.
Makes sense. And then there's this idea, the power of no.
Oh, so interesting. Think about Studio 54, that famous nightclub.
Yeah, super exclusive.
Strict entry policies made people want to get in even more.
So saying no can actually increase demand.
It can. It shows you're confident, high value, setting those boundaries.
I like that. And finally, Priestley talks about how to actually create this scarcity, the campaign-driven enterprise method.
Right. It's about having a plan, building anticipation, managing capacity, making it feel genuinely limited.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. What are the main takeaways?
Let's distill it down to 10 key points.
Oh, I like that. Let's hear them.
All right. So first up, supply and demand. Price isn't just about inherent value. Scarcity is a big deal.
Right, like we were talking about before. What's number 2?
Create your own market. Don't be a commodity. Stand out. Cultivate a niche.
Like, find your specialty.
Exactly. Number 3, that 7-11-4 rule.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
Build familiarity, trust, through repeated exposure and interactions.
So just, keep showing up.
Consistency is key. Number 4, timing. Don't rush. Cultivate demand.
Like Apple did with the watch.
Exactly. Patience and strategy.
Okay, what's number 5?
The 4 drivers: innovation, relationships, convenience, and strategic pricing.
To really create that oversubscribed effect.
Exactly. Number 6, delight your customers. Don't just satisfy them.
Oh, go above and beyond.
Create those raving fans, the pedestal effect, like he calls it.
So others want to join in.
Right. Number 7, remember, people spend big on desires, not just needs.
So tap into those desires, yeah.
To figure out what motivates them. Number 8, be remarkable, not boring.
Have a strong philosophy, stand out.
Exactly. Number 9, the power of no.
Oh, right, saying no can actually be good.
It creates exclusivity, sets boundaries.
Interesting. And number 10.
The campaign-driven enterprise. Planned campaigns, to build anticipation, manage that capacity.
So it's all about having a system.
A well-thought-out plan.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's more to the book than just these 10 points, right?
Oh, yeah. He goes into the history of this whole supply and demand thing, way back.
Oh, interesting.
Like a mental time travel expedition.
I like that. Seeing how it played out over time.
He talks about the pre-industrial world. Most folks were farmers. Scarcity was the norm.
Survival mode.
Exactly. And then, boom, the Industrial Revolution.
Technology changes everything.
Steam engines, factories, mass production.
Huge shift.
Yeah. Cities, factories, the whole workforce changed.
And he's saying we're seeing something similar now with the digital revolution.
Absolutely. Internet, cloud computing, automation, everything's changing again.
It's crazy to think about how much has happened just in the last few decades.
And we're still figuring it out. Like the internet itself, invented in the late 80s.
And Google, social media, all that's still evolving.
Exactly. And he seems optimistic about small businesses, entrepreneurs in this new world.
Oh, why is that?
He thinks technology's leveled the playing field in a way.
Oh, I see.
Small businesses can compete with the big guys now using things like social media, e-commerce.
Makes sense. Anyone can reach a global audience now.
Exactly. And he talks about the importance of having the right team, especially for this campaign-driven enterprise.
Like, who do you need on board?
He starts with the key person of influence. The visionary embodies the values, builds that trust.
So not just the CEO, but someone who's, respected in the industry.
Right. And then there's the launch specialist. Plans and executes those big campaigns.
The ones that create the excitement, the buzz.
Exactly. And then the sales closer leads into paying customers.
So they got to be good at, closing the deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the operations head, making sure the experience matches the hype.
So everything runs smoothly, the customers are happy.
Exactly. And finally, the finance, logistics, and reporting head, the numbers person, keeping everything on track.
Making sure the business is healthy. So he sees all these roles as essential.
It's all about building a team, a strong team with a shared mission.
Working together to make that vision a reality.
Exactly. And he also talks about mindset, how you approach challenges.
Okay.
He uses this analogy of surfing.
I like that.
The lifestyle seeker who likes the small, predictable waves.
Staying in the comfort zone.
Versus the high performer who wants to tackle the big waves.
The ones who push their limits.
Exactly. And he thinks those high performers are more likely to embrace this campaign-driven enterprise.
Because they're not afraid of the risk.
They want to make a big impact.
But he acknowledges that it's tough, right? Building a business.
Oh, for sure. Setbacks, doubts, you name it.
And that's where having a support system is so important.
Mentors, peers, a good team, people who believe in you.
to help you through those tough times.
Exactly. And he also emphasizes contribution, your mission, your legacy,
Like how your business can make a difference.
making a dent in the universe, as he calls it.
I love that.
Businesses as a force for good.
And he talks about how for centuries it was all about consumption, taking,
Extracting resources, making stuff, accumulating wealth.
and now it's shifting toward contribution.
He sees entrepreneurship as a way to solve problems, make things better.
Not just about building a business, but building a better world. I like that.
And he also talks about storytelling.
Oh, yeah. Stories are powerful.
Sharing the story behind your brand, customer success stories,
Making it relatable, human.
Exactly. He even tells a story about a random act of kindness that had this huge ripple effect.
Showing that even small things can make a difference.
And his final thought is like a challenge.
Oh, what's that?
Embrace this campaign-driven enterprise, not just for yourself, but for the world.
Use your business to make a positive impact.
Leave a legacy.
That's a great message to end on.
It's about more than just making money, right? Like it can be about making a real difference.
Yeah, having that bigger purpose. And what I really liked is how he combines that philosophy with actual steps you can take.
Oh, for sure. He gives you that roadmap to build an oversubscribed business, breaks it down into, manageable chunks.
Right, because it can feel overwhelming, all the moving parts.
He knows that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with the, practical stuff.
Especially the marketing and sales side of things.
Yeah, he gives you a framework for all that, from figuring out who your audience is to crafting your message.
Right, and actually closing those deals.
Yeah.
He doesn't shy away from the details.
Nope, lays it all out there.
Does he talk about, data and tracking your progress, too?
Absolutely. You got to measure those results, see what's working, what's not.
So you're making decisions based on facts, not just, gut feeling.
Exactly. He even has this tool, the LAPS score, for tracking your sales process.
Oh, what does that stand for?
Leads, appointments, presentations, and sales.
Okay, that makes sense. So it helps you see where you can improve.
Exactly. And he gives advice on those sales conversations, too, the ones a lot of people dread.
Oh, yeah, how to actually have those talks.
Prepare, listen, ask the right questions. He even says to role play them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Helps you get comfortable, refine your approach.
And it kind of changes how you think about selling, right?
Oh, totally. It's not about pushing something on someone. It's about helping them.
Solving their problems, finding the right solution.
Exactly. And of course, he talks about building a strong online presence, too.
Which is, essential these days.
It's all about content, social media, making your website easy to find.
So people can find you, learn about you, connect with you.
Exactly. And he stresses being authentic in those online interactions, too.
Right, because people can tell if you're not being genuine.
Gotta let your personality shine through. And I really liked how he used personal stories in the book.
Oh, me too. It made it so much more relatable.
He tells this one about a retreat in Bali, being surrounded by these successful entrepreneurs.
All wanting to make a difference.
Yeah, it was a good reminder that business can be about more than just profits.
It can be a force for good.
And so, as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the big takeaway? What do you want our listeners to remember?
I think it's that oversubscription isn't about tricks or hype. It's about creating real value, building those relationships, and using scarcity strategically to make a bigger impact.
Exactly. It's a whole new way of thinking about business.
And about life, too.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Oversubscribed. We hope you found it useful.
And inspiring.
Yes, inspiring. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep making a dent in the universe.